taking on Vince Terelli, who has been accompanied to the ring by his manager, his confidant, his friend, Mr. Paul Jones. Your referee for this event is Byron Richard. With me at ringside is the champion of the North American Wrestling Association, Mr. Robert Fuller, a surprise color commentator. Maybe you'll change your mind about Paul Jones and his role as a color commentator.
Well, I'm not so sure about it. You know, I feel like I'm really doing a great job out here with you. You know, this is a pretty easy job to do, Ted.
Well, sir, it depends. I must admit you're doing an admirable job this evening, though I disagree with some of the information that you're supplying our viewers.
Well, it's for certain. If you'd watch the monitor a little closer.
What a takedown by Terelli.
Well, it could have been in his shoelaces there a little bit.
Oh, come on now,
keeping my eye out for him to be able to get into his shoelaces there. It looked like he might have been in there.
You know, one of the things that has to be known about Vince Terelli was that he was an outstanding athlete in college. In fact, was invited to attend the San Diego Charger preseason camp. They wanted him to play linebacker for him, and he passed it up for his first slump, which is professional wrestling. But this man has made it to the finals of the National Badman competition, so he can go downtown, champ.
Well, that's true. You know, that's probably the most admirable thing he's done as far as athletics goes. I don't have much respect for these amateur wrestlers a whole lot because, you know, I'm in a submission game. As far as I'm concerned, you're going to get a man down and hurt him, he'll quit.
Well, Terelli, you will find, will work over one specific part of the body, and there he goes again for the left foot of Butch Malone, much to the delight of the crowd, I might say. Great takedown.
Or a cheap shot. Either way you want to call it. I'm not too impressed with this Terelli.
Well, let's take a look at the strength of Terelli. Wow! Wow! He just picked up a man that is a good-sized man and lifted him up over his head just like a bag of potatoes, a sack of potatoes. And once again, going to work on that left leg.
I don't think there's any doubt about it that he's got a lot of upper body strength there, but in the same token, he doesn't have too much above that upper body. Those brains don't work too good because we offered this gentleman a contract. I mean that anybody with any sense at all wouldn't have been able to turn down, and he's taking Paul Jones' advice.
Well,
that's going to cost him in the end.
Seeing the contract myself, I have to admit that was a rather hefty sum, one that compares with any contract I have seen recently signed by any baseball or football player. But I have to respect the man's principles for saying, no, I'm not going to turn my back on my friend. You have to respect and admire a guy who can do that.
I don't understand that at all, Ted. You're out here, you're supposed to be giving people a straight scoop on this thing. Here's a guy who turned down a contract of a lifetime. You should be saying you don't understand how he can do that. Sometimes you and I, you're right, we don't agree. You know, when I take over this company and my stud stable starts to reign with a little more power, you might have a problem with this job of yours. You better start seeing things a little bit my way, you know.
Half Boston Crab, the referee, calling for the break as Butch Malone had found his way to the ropes. But once again, Terelli hooks that leg. And once again, they have to break because they're in the ropes. You're watching the best in professional wrestling. This is South Atlantic Wrestling. With me at ringside, Robert Fuller, the North American Wrestling Association heavyweight champion.
I like it when you say that, Ted. You really put enthusiasm in there. I like that.
Well, I must be fair and impartial.
Does he have his tights? I think he had his tights in the back when he took him over. Very dangerous maneuver. He got leverage with the tights. It's very clear to see.
Champ, I could not see it, and I'm watching the same match that you're watching. I didn't see him grab the tights.
I would bet you anything that Paul Jones gave him that maneuver, that he told him when you get your man up high in the air like that, just take hold of a handful of tights and get your leverage with the tights.
No doubt.
Paul did that.
No doubt that Paul gave him the maneuver, but I have to dispute the fact that it was an illegal one. A great knee lift. We felt that up here. We didn't just see it. We felt that up here. And Butch Malone right now has to be looking for a gas station.
Again, look at him. He's past the side of the tight. Now it's very clear. You couldn't say there he didn't have hold of the man's
Perfectly legal. How else do you deliver a suplex like you just did?
There again, we disagree. In Nashville, that would not have been legal at all. He'd be disqualified if he were champion.
A reverse slam. And Butch Malone right now, much the worse for wear. The tide's certainly flowing in Vince Terelli's favor.
Appears to me that Terelli's just trying to torture the man right here. He's got him down. He's giving the maneuvers. Now he's knocked him. It's clear that he's unconscious. He gets back to his feet. He's not a conscious man.
He knew that he hit the button square on the nose with that drop kick. That's textbook, champ. That's the way they teach it. That's the way he executed it. A great hip hop takedown.
I think I would have covered the man and beat him after the first maneuver. That right here, it's clear. Paul Jones again has had an act in this thing because he's told him torture this man.
Belly to belly. This one It is all over.
And a hand in the tights. So very clear to see. Had the hands in the tights. You want to watch this on instant replay, champ.
This one belongs to Vince Terelli. A great belly-to-belly supply. Let's take a look at that on our slow-motion instant replay. And you tell me if he was holding on to the tights. Let's look at it right there, champ. No tights there. No tights there. You see those hands? No